Hello and welcome everybody to another unscripted tutorial. So let's get started. So what we will do in this tutorial will be summarized in this showing. Let's start to do application. This doesn't have any local database, it's just purely UI and UX, which they suck. So on the application launches, we will have this list of tasks. Each task have a title, and when you click on it, it will show a description. So let's say you have finished a task, you click on this checkbox, and the task will be crossed. So this is what we will be doing on this tutorial, instead of creating a random to-do application. So let's get started. The first thing is, let's go to our project and let's organize a bit. Let's create our needed 4 folders, or 3 maybe. First one is views, models, and custom. Not sure what to call this folder, but let's call it custom, just like that. Okay, so let's minimize these 2 folders, and let's start with the easiest one. It's the model for the tasks. So this will help you when you will create your local database, which will maybe be the topic of our next tutorial. Let's put here task, and let's create. Okay, so in this task class we will have public string title, which we will get and set, and another public string description, which we will get and set as well, and the public boolean. Let's call it done, which we will get and set. So after creating the model, let's remove this dot models just for no reason, just to be accessible from our main page easily. Let's go to our main page and let's create a private list. Let's create a list of task, which we'll call list, equals a new list of task as well. And let's open curly braces because we want to hard code the values into these. So let's create a new task. Let's give it a title of random task title, and let's give it a description of random description that is very long, that you have to minimize it. Yeah, just write whatever. Anyway, and let's copy this. Let's add it multiple times, and let's change, maybe let's put a number in here, maybe 1, 2, 3, and so on. Let's add to some of these the attribute done. Let's initialize it with true. Let's go with maybe 2 of these. Done equals true. Okay, now let's go to our XAML part of the main page. Okay, let's first put our main page in our views, just for organization's sake. Let's go to our main page, that's XAML. Let's add a list view. Let's remove all this crap that is here, and let's add a list view. Okay, so let's add list view.item template, data template, and let's create a very simple view cell. Let's put stack layout in there, a label which will contain our title, second label which will contain our description. Okay, so in here I'm gonna use some binding expressions. If you don't know what binding expressions is, just read the documentation. Okay, so I'll bind it with title, and Where did I come up with this? Go to our task. Yeah, so just copy this one and bind to it. So why did I do this? Because when we are going to our main page of XAML.C#, we will put the item source for this list as this simple list. So we will basically be binding the list with these. Yeah, just very complex. Just watch a tutorial. Okay, so let's bind this again with a description. Let's just make sure that it is written correctly. And let's put a checkbox in there. For now, we won't worry about the quality of the UI because it will be very, very crappy. So is checked, we'll bind it to done. As you can tell here, it's done. Let's now go to our main page.xaml. No, let's first go to our list view and give it a name. Let's call it list. We go again to our C# list.itemSource equals lst. Okay, so now let's run our application. I'll pause in here. So as you can tell from our results, this looks very ugly. Okay, so and the checkbox didn't even show up. And let me give you the reason for that. So let's go to our main page.xaml and let's go here and has even rows. So what this does, it makes all the list view items have the same height and the same basically the same height. So let's save this and see the changes with the XAML hot reload hopefully. So for some reason even has even rows didn't fix this. So let's get to working on our custom cell because that will fix it for sure. Okay, so let's stop this emulator and let's go to our custom folder. Let's create a new class. Let's call it task cell. Okay, so this task cell will inherit from the view cell. Let's fix the namespace problem. Okay then. Now let's create the elements of our task cell. So first of all, it must have a checkbox. Call it check equals new checkbox. So it will have a frame, which will be like the frame of the task. Let's call it frame maybe. Now let's call it cell wrapper because that sounds cool. Okay, so new frame, and let's have two stacks, one horizontal for the title and description, I mean one vertical for the title and description, and one horizontal for the previous stack layout and the checkbox. Let's create two stack layouts. Well, let's call it horizontal layout equals new stack layout. And the next one, let's call it vertical layout. Stack layout vertical layout equals new stack layout. And our two labels. So let's create label title equals new label. Again, label description equals new label. Okay, next we're gonna create the constructor for this. Just how we called here checkbox and frame and everything, let's create the call for this task cell. Let's create public task cell, and let's do this. Let's make our class public as well. Task cell. Let's imagine the construction of this. Okay, to our vertical layout, let's add the children dot add. So in here, let's add the title, and let's add our description. Okay, again, in our horizontal layout, let's add a checkbox first, our check. Then we add our vertical layout. And in our cell wrapper, let's put the horizontal layout. Dot content equals horizontal layout. Okay, now let's make some design maybe. So first of all, let's make this horizontal. Let's go horizontal layout dot orientation equals layout or stack orientation, I guess, dot horizontal. Let's go for our title. Let's make the title dot font size, maybe font attribute first, just the same. Font attributes dot bold and title dot font size now. Let's make it 22, I guess. Let's make the color of this black. Title dot font color. No, I mean text color, sorry. Text color equal color dot black. Okay, what did I forget? I'm sure I forgot something. Okay, check vertical layout. Yeah, I forgot the cell wrapper. For the cell wrapper, let's give it padding of 10. Let's give it a margin of 5. And let's yeah, I'm sure I forgot something in there. Maybe margin. Yeah, the corner radius. Let's make it round. Give it a 10. Okay, now let's make our view, which is like the output of this. Let's give it the cell wrapper. Okay, with this done, I think I forgot the binding. So when we will give this list a source of this, it will have these items as a binding context, which means when we will do a binding expression, we can have all of these elements. We can get all of these elements. Let's do the binding expression inside of our task cell, so it will be like automatic when we initialize this. Now let's go with title first. So title dot set binding expression. Set binding, sorry. We open this. So first we get the target property. What we will target with our binding. So what we will change when we bind. Basically, it means where the result of the binding will go. So it will go to our title.text. And where we will get this, let's do string, let's do title. And how did I get this? This title is basically this one. And yeah, I guess I did a mistake in there. Let's go to our task cell, not title, I mean label dot text, and this will fix it. Maybe not. Okay, I'm not sure if this is the correct one. Okay, so I'm sure set binding. Okay, let me check and come back again. Stupid me, of course. Here we have to set the text property. Okay, I guess that's what made us uh, have this error. Let's bind the description as well. Dot set binding. Let's do label dot text property as well, and we'll bind this with description. And let's do the checkbox as well. Check dot set binding. And here we go. Checkbox dot is checked property, and we bind this with done. So as I told you in the beginning, we'll have the description be not visible, and when we click on the item, it will be visible. So let's set the visibility for the description now. Description dot is visible equals false. Okay, how are we going to change this? We are going to override the tap method. Let's write override on tapped. And what are we going to do is, let's go with description dot is visible equals not description is visible. So it basically will inverse. If this was true, it will make it false. If it was false, it will make it true. Okay, now let's go to our main page and let's put this instead of this garbage, and let's see our changes. So first of all, let's import our custom cell. Let's call it custom equals, and then this will import mobile app testing, and in here you just put the name of the application that you are developing. And in this we'll remove this view cell and we put custom, and in here we're going to go with task cell. I'm sure there's a problem in here because this task cell is not from this namespace, it's from this dot custom. Let's remove this dot custom and let's save this, and let's go back here and hopefully we can see a task cell. Yeah, so it's here. Let's run the application again and let's see our progress, if we have done anything good or is it just how bad it was before. Okay, so again I did something stupid, and here it has uneven rows. I should have put true. So if you put true in here and we save, hopefully the application will change and we'll be able to see the list better. Okay, so this is our result and this is what we expected. So if you click on any item, it will show us the description. So let's remove this ugly orange thing outside of our cell. So we go in here, we go to selection mode, and we do none. And with this, we save it, we will have no problems with that orange thing. Okay, so after restarting the application, you can tell that our list looks fairly beautiful, I guess. If you click on it, the description will pop up, and if you click again, it will go away. But now, when we have this checked, we don't have the text, the title doesn't have a strike through. So let's do this. So this is applicable for when you have a button or anything that can change. So let's do this. Okay, let's go back to our code. Let's stop this from running. Yeah, so I added something which is separator visibility. I removed the separator because it looks honestly very ugly. So Just find somewhere where you can put your code, and let's go check dot check change plus equals, and here it will tell you press tab to insert, and let's press tab and let's apply. Okay, now we have this check change. So let's remove this row implementation and stuff because it will only crash our application. So let's go with if e.value, which will get the value of this of the checkbox. So if e.value returns a boolean. So if it's true, that means the checkbox is checked. If it returns false, that means the checkbox isn't checked. So if it's true, so if it is true, uh, let's go and add a strike through. So let's go title dot uh, font decoration. No, decoration, I guess. Yeah, text decoration equals text decorations dot strike through. And else let's go with title dot text decoration equals text decorations dot none. And with this simply we can do that. So in here, let's put this again. Okay, let's put this again because when we initialize this, it won't check if it won't have this like it won't launch this event. Let's put this in here from the beginning. Go this and let's go if check dot is checked. This will return a boolean, as you can tell. We will have strike true. If it doesn't, will not have strike. So let's try this for the final time, and this is probably our final try for the application because it's almost finished. So now what you have to do is you add your local database and you add a button to add items, remove items, and update them. So if you're interested in a tutorial like this, just write in the comments. Okay, so we have an error in here where I forgot the, yeah, I'm not sure where did this go, but okay. Let's launch the application again and let's see the result. Okay, so our application launched, and as you can tell, when we launch, you'll see these with a strike through and these will not. So if we click on the checkbox, it will put strike through this. And what you have to do next, if you have a local database, is just make your database connection static and call it from the task cell and just modify or update the state of your task. That's basically it for this tutorial. I hope you have found it useful and see you next time.